So what we're going to do is, hopefully you got most of yours finished. I got a lot of them finished. I have enough to at least show you what to do now. So once you have everything all quilted out, the next thing I want to do is put the decorative stitching in between in here. And there's different things you can do, different stitches. I'm just going to use the regular sewing machine for this, or well, not my regular straight stitcher. I need some decorative stitches. So when you're picking decorative stitches, you want to pick something that's got sort of a thick fill, a dense fill. Or you could, if you want to do fancy, this is a good time to check out those decorative stitches you got on your machine. I don't know about you, but I never use them. Hardly ever do I use them. This machine's got 400 and something decorative stitches, and I couldn't tell you what half of them look like other than to see the picture on there. So this is a good time to just check out your decorative stitches and try some. So if you haven't finished all of your spaces, like I haven't, I did all 20 that was in the last one, but I have some more spaces. And so I found this little book at a yard sale. It's called My Little Book of Machine Quilting Designs, and it's got all kinds of little shapes. So I might go through some of these and put some of these shapes in here. Not that one, that one's icky. But it's got some cute ones. Names, and I like that one. I'll probably, oh, here's a cool one. I like that one. I think that would be an offset of the spirals, and that would look cute. I think I'll put that in one. And this one, it was that, who is this written by? Somebody named Laura Hine, H-E-I-N-E, and I haven't, I mean, I'm not sure. I got it at a swap meet from our guild a long time ago, because, you know, like, I need more books. Like a hole in the head, but in fact I think that's where I got, look familiar, sort of. I did that in the grid. Okay, so anyway, so what I want to do now is, once I get my shapes, I want to go ahead and I want to delineate the between the little areas, because they kind of mishmash into a bunch of nothing, but it looks kind of busy and you can't tell one section from another. So what I want to do is get a place for the eye to rest, and I'm going to use the same color thread, which is that variegated blue that I had, and I'm just using a cotton thread, and I'm just going to go through and pick up some of these stitches, or some of the decorative stitches. It's not necessary to use a walking foot at this point. You could if you wanted to. But the reason you don't have to is because it's so densely quilted, these layers are not going to shift as you're trying to do a decorative stitch on the top. I also have the luxury of this one, which is the digital dual feed, which is like walking foot on steroids, and it has an open toe attachment you can get for it, and this will work with most of your decorative stitches. The reason all decorative stitches don't work with a walking foot or a traditional walking foot is because those teeth advance forward at a constant rate the whole time you're stitching. When you've got really intricate decorative stitches, sometimes the fabric moves backwards and forwards, and the needle goes side to side, and the fabric doesn't move at all. And so a walking foot's going to continually try to advance, no matter where the bottom feed dogs, what they're doing. This one will stop, go backwards. So this one has interchangeable feet. So for this, I like the open toe one. I like the stitch in the ditch foot for this. This is my absolute favorite one, is the stitch in the ditch foot. It has a really nice couching foot. Let me think what else. There's also a 1/4 inch foot. So this does more than a traditional walking foot. But I'm not going to use it today. In case you have one, everybody wants to know, what's this? This is if you want to continue on with regular sewing. In other words, just normal pressure. This releases the belt. So it pulls that, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. We'll show, there's it up, and there, and then, well, let's see. There's it. I'm trying to get a good shot of it. Well, it's down. It's right there, and then when you move it up, it pulls out of it lifts up so that it's no longer pulling along. If you have a built-in walking foot, you have a little more decorative stitches than you can do, and it depends on the brand of machine you have. The built-in walking feet work the same as a regular walking foot. In other words, those teeth are always advancing forward. They don't stop, go backwards, and whatnot. That's why the digital dual feet is a little bit better than even the built-in walking feet. Although the built-in walking feet are nice, they're convenient, they're always there. I've also found they make the machine a little noisier. So let's go to the machine, and I'm just going to use a regular open toe foot, okay, which is this one. They have plastic ones and they have metal ones. I like the metal ones. In fact, this is almost like the new one. The Babylock one has come out with a metallic metallic open toe foot, which this is really an end foot from an old machine, and it's the same as this end foot, except I popped out the plastic. And what makes it different than the regular general purpose foot is that the back of it has got a channel so that thick threads can pass underneath of it without getting jammed. So anyway, let's go look at our machine. Alrighty, now I have it on my regular utility stitches, but I want to go to character and decorative stitches. And I have different classes of stitches. So you've got tons to choose from. That, I want to hit that again. Nope, cancel. Okay, these are the regular stitches, and I just wanted to scroll up and down, and I ended up hitting something else. These are regular decorative stitches, and these are probably not going to work really well because they're going to leave open spots. So therefore, if you've written on your fabric with like a Sharpie or a pencil or something that you don't want to erase or get out of there, then you're going to see that line underneath. So I don't want to use any, although there's lots of them to choose from. Okay, go back here, and we have, here's more of the same. Again, these are a lot more decorative stitches, and I may come back and play with some of these. Like this one would probably cover up any stitching underneath fairly well. That one would. I'm trying to see what others. I don't want that. Delete. Where's the delete key? Right here. Okay. Actually, the ones I want to use, that I like to use, are these, which are those heavy decorative stitches. They're very densely stitched. There's lots to pick from. These also take a little bit of time to stitch out. I probably wouldn't pick, come back here, up there. Don't want that one. So, go away, I don't want that one. Okay, I probably wouldn't pick this one because you got a big area right in the middle that you can see through. Probably that one too. But any of these others would work fine. Okay, another set to use would be the pattern zigzags, and every machine has got pattern zigzags since the 1960s. My Touch and Sew, Golden Touch and Sew from Singer back in the 60s had these pattern zigzags, and I really like these. These are nice. So there's some different little stitches on here that you can use, like over here. These look nice. Okay, now when I bring that, we'll do this one first, okay? This is kind of sparse, so a lot of times I will take my stitch length down here and I'm going to shorten it to about 0.2 or 0.3. I'm using pretty thick thread, so I'll 0.3. But if I want this, you see how when it's on neutral, okay, see how that pattern is kind of long, and as I shorten my stitch length, it changes the character of the pattern. But say I wanted it to be elongated like it originally looked, but I want to use a shorter stitch length. Well, see, now I've got this key over here, which is a pattern elongator, and I can make that. That's pretty much how it looked before, but you know, I don't really want that one anyway. I like it like there. Okay, you can also flip them in horizontal, or flip them horizontal, flip them vertical, whichever you like. what this key means, that it would stair step, but I'm not going, well, here if I do it, and then I would pick it again, and I could step it one side or the other. And so that would be an interesting effect, not so much for the purpose that I'm doing now, but that's just an interesting effect. So let me delete those two and make this. Nope. Just pick it again. So I'll pick this one, and I want it stitch length of 3. And usually I'll test them. Well, I should test them. Actually, I like the looks of that. So I have the variegated thread in the bobbin and in the needle. And I'm using a size 12 needle. That's fine for this. And I'm going to put the open toe on. Press her foot. And here we go. I'm just going to pick a line. Now, I'm going to pick one of these curved lines. And you can see right here is where I'm going. Let's see if I can put I'm going to put a friction marker. Do I have one here? That's nice and bright. Yeah. So we can see. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about what some of these decorative stitches can do. Okay, a couple through here. Okay, let's just put it here. I'm going to make it really dark so you can see where I'm going. Okay. I'm going to hook this thing up because these machines have the ability to stop stitching where you want it to stop stitching. So I'm just going to plug it in. When you're plugging it in, be very careful. Make sure this flat part is on the top, because it's got very delicate pins in there and you don't want to break these pins. So be very, very careful when you're putting it in. Don't ever force it. Doesn't go in easily, don't force it. Okay, so now this is a curve, so I'm not going to bother to use the curve, the laser line, because you have that at your disposal also. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to start stitching. But I want to set my machine at a single pattern. Why? Because I'm going on a fairly tight curve. So if I turn like this as I'm sewing, what's going to happen is it's going to distort the pattern. So I want it to go in little straight spots, and I'll pivot every time. So there's a couple of things on this machine I'm going to turn on. Okay, first of all, I'm going to turn on the pivot, automatic pivot line, and I am going to put this on not a right here. This is a continuous pattern. I'll put it on a single pattern, so it will only stitch one at a time because we're going on a curve. Okay, and here we go. Seeing how it stops? Now, is that looking how I want it? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Okay, so next it stopped, and so it stopped, and this the foot rose up. So now I can aim it for the next one. So then I don't have to sit here and do this. I don't have to use the knees lifter. With the pivot feature on, I just stitch. And it stopped. It'll stop for you. Now see it raised, and I can pivot. And this is as wide as I like it. This, in fact, is a little wide than I like even. And see, now when I pivot, That's not distorting my pattern. This feels really loose. I don't know why it feels so loose. Oh, didn't finish. And I went too far. This one I'm just going to go right to the end of the line. So the next one will cross over. Okay, and I'm going to finish there. I'm just going to, I could pull those threads up, but I'm not going to. And I want to know why this thing is not stitching well. That's because that bobbin tension is wrong. It didn't go in right. I told you things didn't look right, but that's okay. Now let's pick another one. Okay, this time let's pick another stitch. Let's go back and pick a different one. I like these too. Let's pick one of these and see what happens with one of these. Let's see, what do we have? What? Kind of like the looks of that one. And here I have a choice of large and small, heavy density or light density. I want the heavy density, and I want large. That's small. That's large. Let's go with the small ones. I think that looks good. I also have the ability to offset it, and I'm going to leave this on. And this time, I'm going to pick a straightaway. Okay, and I'm going to put on that beam. So it's right in the front. So this is going to help me. And I can put the length of the beam. Oh, that's the offset. Okay. I've got my beam on there so I can see above it. And I'm just going to scoot this back a bit and just start stitching. And this one I have on continuous because it's a straightaway. You know what? I'm going to change. I'm going to change this to a single pattern because I wanted to go back to the beginning and have it stop at the end. I wonder how different. That is awfully dense. I don't like that one. I'm going to go back to normal density. So I'm going to pick it again. I want the regular density, and I'll leave it like that. And let's just see if that looks better. Yeah, that regular density looks better. That one, last one, sometimes this thread is just a little too thick. Okay, now we're coming in between. Let's just say I want that stitching to stop right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this key, okay, and this one, this key right here is going to allow me to stop it in a certain spot. And so I want to touch the end point using the sensor pen. So I'm coming over to here. And I'm touching the end point, and it clicked, and I'm going to hit it again. Okay, okay. All right, and now it's said that it will sew until it gets to that point. Remember, I picked right there. So let's see what happens. Now, is that where I picked? You know what? I don't remember where I picked. Okay. Is that where I picked? Is that you guys were watching? Because I didn't pay attention to it. I'm not. We'll have to do that again. Let me finish it on the end. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, and let's pick a different one. Let's see, do we have another? Let's try that again. Let's see, do we have anything else straight? Ah, here's a straightaway right there. Where's that pen? Here's a straightaway right here. We will start it here, and then when I get to there, this is all a straightaway to right there. Okay, let's try that again with a different pattern. Let's pick that's cute. Let's do that one. I'll do this smaller one, and I'm going to leave it normal density because I seem to have liked that. Okay, now this I'm going to come back to, but I'm going to set it up, and this time just remember well, here, let me get it started. It's going to start on a slant, so I'm going to start it on a slant, and oops, come over here. No, now I'm too close. Here. And I'm going to start it right there. I'll let it do a flower, and then I'll pivot. Okay, it looks like it's doing the next flower, so. Okay, after it finishes this flower, I'll put it on the straightaway. And just keeping an eye on it. Now, I'm going to let it run on the straightaway until I get about 3 to 4 inches away from where I want to end. Okay, so here we go. And this will be like watching grass grow. I'm totally hands-free. Okay, what did I use to mark the 1/2 inch squares? I just used a friction pen. Those are kind of small. Yeah, try a friction, not the felt tip ones. Like these that click have a really fine point, and it went through fine. So, and that's just like a ballpoint pen, so it worked really well. Okay, back to this. Ta-da-ta-da. This is like watching the grass grow. Oh, okay. I want to stop. I'm getting within 3 to 4 inches. So at this point, I'm going to activate this key. Pick that. And then it's telling me to touch the ending point with the sensor pen. And that's what I'm doing. And I am right there is where I'm going to stop it. Okay, I hit it the first time. When it asks you to do that again, notice now I have a different icon showing up here. This was like, if I pick this one, it would just come to that point and stop. This one is going to sort of finagle the depth, the stitch length, so that it finishes the pattern. And that's the one I'm going to pick. So I'm going to hit that mark again, and okay. All right, and then it says here the machine will sew to an ending point in 1 step if the length is less than 2 3/4 inches, and the machine may not stop at the ending point. Oh, if the length is less than 2 3/4 inches, the machine may not stop at the ending point. Okay, let's see what it does then. Okay, so anyway, I hit this ending point right there. Okay, let's see what happens. There we go. No, it isn't even close. Look at that. Okay, my feed dogs are off. That's telling me. And I'm just gonna stitch this and I'm gonna I'll do another couple flowers. But I don't like the way these looks, and this probably didn't work because these feed dogs are off, and I'll show you what we can do to fix them. Okay, that's where I wanted to end. I'll do the other side. Let's take a look at this because I'm not happy with it. Okay. They're not straight. See how this side is a little lower than that side? That's something is off somewhere. And so what happens, what I do is I go get my book. Oops, sorry. Because we're going to calibrate those feed dogs. And we hadn't talked about doing that before. So let me get a piece of fabric and a piece of stabilizer. And let's try this out. So I go into my book. And every book, it's on a different page. So you want to look in the table of contents under character and decorative stitches. All right, let me find that. There's the table of contents, character and decorative stitches. And I am looking at making adjustments on this. In this book, it's on page 174. Okay, so put this over here. Okay, so we can take a look at that, what the book says. The book is saying to do this pattern. So we're going to go to the machine. I'm going to get a piece of fabric. Well, let me get a scrap piece of fabric. And let's see. And you want to put stabilizer behind it. Now this is a way you can calibrate your own feed dogs. So I'm going to go to the machine and I am going to find that stitch. And it is stitch, where is it? It is 6284. Put this under here and hands free do one. I'm just, oh wait a minute, I'm going to remove the I'm removing the foot pedal. Okay, so I'm going to hit start and it's going to do one pattern. Oh yeah, there's a problem. I see it now. Okay. Let's zoom in that really close. It doesn't look like a cartoon bubble, does it? It's crisscrossing right here. These 2 points should meet. So we go to the book. And the book says, and I'm going to look for that problem. Let's see, where's crisscrossing? Here's crisscrossing right here. Okay, so it says that if it's crisscrossing or bunched is what they call it, I'm going to press plus in the fine adjustment vertical display. So then I go to my settings page. Fine adjustment, what does it say, vertical? Yep, vertical. And I want to go plus. So I'm going to go +1 and hit OK and try it again. So I'll do another stitch out. And you're going to do this one at a time. The other thing I could look out for, 2 places I want to look when I'm doing this test stitch. Is this bunched or crisscrossed, or is there a gap? If it's a gap, you would hit negative, and you don't try to remember this. Always look at the book. Also look at this straight line. This straight line should go straight. You shouldn't have one here and one here. Like in, say, where is it? There's bunched, there's gapped, and then here's one where, see, this line is not even. So you have four, actually you can isolate the vertical and the horizontal to see where your problem is. So I'm going to, you do one number at a time. So again, let's stitch another one. Let's see what we get this time. It should be better. It may not be right yet. I might have to do this a few times. Nope, still bunched, so let's go do that again. Fine adjustment, vertical, go +2. Why does it go out of alignment? Mostly because there's metal parts in these machines, and in the summer, the heat and the temperature, the temperature in the room can affect the parts, and therefore your feed dogs may act differently in the summer than they do in the winter. Also, your tension dials are a little different because of the metal expanding and contracting. So this way you can fix things up to a point, and if you can't fix them, nope, one more. Okay, I'm going to go to 3. It's closer. See, it's getting closer, but there's still a little bit of bunching. And then we're going to go back and do that stitch again, and let's see if it looks better. One more. If you haven't fixed it by going ±9, then it's time to go see the technician. Humidity can also affect the machine too, and it is really humid today. Oh, that one looks good. Okay, I think we got it now. It's hard to see because of the other thread, but see, now they're meeting in the same spot. So now this stitch should look a lot better. So let's go back and do that stitch again, and let's see how much better it looks. I think it's that one, and it was the small one. I remember that. Okay, that's fine. I'll put it on an opposite side. Start over here. Here's one. Here's a little one. Okay, and here we go. Okay, it's happy now. Well, it looks like they're meeting in the middle now. So go closer. I took the foot pedal off. Back. Okay, let's take a look at these and we'll compare them. Okay, here's what they look like. Those look much better than those. Those look terrible, but these look so much better. And see how just calibrating your feed dogs makes a big difference. Let's see. And there's, like I said, I'm just going to continue on doing all these decorative stitches in here, and when I'm done, then I will just square it off. Maybe I'll put points on it, and then I'll put the binding on it, and then it'll be done. I might work on this a little bit tonight and get this thing finished, and I think I'll bind it in plain blue. That'll look good. So I think that'll turn out decently. I just have to, I'm going to put, like I said, I'm going to go through my quilting books and find some more fills. I think I'll go on to Leah Day's site and see if I can find something else to practice with. And that way I'll get this done. And before we go, let's do it again so that it at least looks right. So I'm going to go back and pick that pattern. That way you can see what one's supposed to look like. And that's a pattern zigzag. And I'll do that same one. And I think I set this down to 3. Okay. There we go. Individual pattern, because it's a curve, I forgot. Anyway, that turned out much nicer than over here where the thread was all yucky because the tension was wrong. So, your homework is to finish your project, and when we should all come together, send me a picture of the finished object and or your finished table runner, and we'll put them up on Facebook. And I am so proud of everybody, and I think you guys are doing great. And I miss meeting with you guys all the time. So anyway, have a great evening and stay cool and stay healthy. Love you guys. Bye.